to another episode of Youth Alive, a place designed for you to bring you an enjoyable message while you laugh, learn, and get uplifted. So once again, I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy while we truly learn what it means to be young and alive.
Hello everyone, welcome to another day at Youth Alive. I am Jacob, and today I'm going to be sharing with you two facts. One regarding history, and another one regarding a biography. That's right, here at Did You Know? Alright, so first, did you know that in December 7, 1941, President Franklin Roosevelt called it a date which will live in infamy when Japanese military attacked at Pearl Harbor? That's right. This attack was a declaration of war between Japan and the U.S. The attack left 18 warships destroyed or damaged, sank, bottom, gone. It destroyed 200 aircraft and killed over 2,400 people, both military, U.S. servicemen, and civilians alike. The entire attack lasted for about an hour and 15 minutes. Wow. Because of this attack, the U.S. got involved in what is now known World War II. This country, after that, began to expand its military components and now is a global superpower and a guardian of international order. How about that? Because of that, we are now a superpower. All right. But wait, there is more. Now, as I mentioned, the second fact, it involves a biography. A very important gentleman known as Henry Ford. He was a very influential businessman in the 20th century. Wow, how about that? I know what you're thinking. Yep, he's the one. He is the world now renowned inventor of the Ford T model. He came up with the Model T Ford, whose price was $300 back in the day, in 1916. His gift to the American people, who provided mobility for everyone. He was a pacifist who actually opposed the First World War. Well, there you have it, folks. Here are your two facts of Did You Know? Welcome once again to Youth Alive. My name is Jacob. See you soon. Bye.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Pick of the Week. Today we are representing our roots. That's why I was playing soccer, a very popular sport in my country, Colombia. Though we are very thankful with the place that we live in, United States, we can't forget our roots. We can't forget the place that we came from. So let's stop chatting and let's get to it. Our first guest today is Maria Teresa Campos. Let's see how Maria Teresa is representing her roots. Now let's move on to our second guest, Jerry Ruiz. Join me and let's see how Jerry is representing his roots. It is really nice to see how we are representing our roots. And also, it is really good to know that we are not embarrassed of them. By the way, if you don't have your national team jersey, go to Fútbol y Más with Doña Margarita and you are going to find it right there. Because representing our roots is what makes us Youth Alive. Thank you guys and see you next week.
and welcome to this segment entitled This is Lit. Now, during this segment, I'll be talking to you about either some cool technology or stuff kind of sort of having to do with that. My sister told me I look like a lumberjack, which gives me the perfect excuse to. So, much better, don't you think? Now, not only was that clever editing, but it also is a perfect segue into my next topic, which is NASA, and something very important and specific about it. Give me one moment. Aww. But no. What are you doing here? But no. Let me try again. Much better. Now that video wasn't just an hour and a half of clever editing, but also the product of a female scientist who revolutionized space photography, Barbara Askins. Thanks to her, we can now see high-resolution pictures from space. But before I explain to you how all this came to be, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the problem and how she came up with the solution. Now in space, well, the space station in space can't really get too far because of this thing called gravity. And the simplest way I can put it, gravity keeps you glued to the Earth. Now, because of gravity, the space station can't really, go too far away, or else, it'll float away into space and not stop until it either hits a meteor, gets pulled by the gravity of another star or another planet, or gets hit by a TIE fighter. Yeah, I'm a nerd. Really like Star Wars. Now, because of this, the space station would go around the Earth, and in doing so, it would take different pictures, and then it'll composite them together, and then be put into a program which could, then turn it into a circle, thus giving us the planet Earth picture that we are so used to seeing. Now, all of this was impossible before 1978. Now, why 1978? Well, because before 1978, all pictures look like this one. Yeah, I know, kind of blurry. Imagine spending thousands and billions of dollars to shoot a guy up into space and then end up with a bunch of pictures all blurry. Now, this was a problem that, although they were able to see a lot of different land features from space, blurry pictures are not exactly the best. So enter Barbara Askins. In 1978, Askins came up with a way of enhancing images using radioactive materials. And yes, guys, full disclosure, you can use radioactive materials for something other than turning people into the Hulk and creating nuclear weapons. Anyway, the method she developed used radiology to help improve the quality of underexposed or otherwise useless negatives, aka pictures, after film was developed. On July 18, 1978, she received a patent for the quote-unquote method of obtaining intensified image from developed photographic films and plates. And yes, that was the full name. And she was the sole inventor of the project. Now, thanks to this really cool piece of technology invented by Barbara Askins to be able to take blurry pictures to turn them into high resolution images, not only are we as people able to see this magnificent Earth that God created for us from up above, but many other countries have used it to spy on each other and, be able to plot land. You can see weather stuff. Yeah, I'm kidding. You can see cyclones, you can see typhoons, and weather disasters such as that, which can help warn people and keep them prepared. So thank you, Barbara Askins, and your high resolution making technique, which helped us see the Earth without having to spend about 10 years in a university than 7 to 10 years training to be able to take one trip to space and to see the Earth for ourselves. This is Brenner's segment entitled This is Lit. Thanks for watching.
Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be learning how to make a sweet plantain omelette. Yes, 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 yes. And since this month we're celebrating our mothers, you can surprise yours with this delicious recipe. So here's what you need.
A few moments later.
Okay, now it's your turn. I hope they liked it and remember that we are Youth Alive. Bye.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's portion of Good Vibes. For this week, we decided to challenge a couple of the members of our ministries with a random act of kindness. The goal was for them to get involved in a daily task that they usually don't get involved with and to do it with love. So, join me while we see what they came up with.
My random act of kindness was helping my sister with her homework. My mom usually helps her, and I had already finished my work for Friday, so I decided to help her with it, and my mom could do whatever she wants.
Guys, my name is Giovanni. I'm from California, and my random act of kindness was washing my parents and my grandparents' dishes after they got home from work. I did it because they get home and they're tired, they don't have the energy to do so I went ahead and did it for them. Later, guys.
Emily and Giovanni, we thank you for accepting this week's challenge. And well, in honor of leading by example, here is my random act of kindness.
My random act of kindness was that this week it was my roommate's turn to clean the kitchen, and I decided to clean it for her right before she got home.
As for everyone else, today we challenge you to keep up the good vibes with Youth Alive and take on your own random act of kindness.
Hello everyone and welcome to one more segment of Upgrade, a segment where we can learn to be better in our daily lives, thus receive an upgrade. Tonight we're going to talk about Proverbs 1:20-33. Let's hear it.
Listen, wisdom is shouting in the streets. She is crying out in the marketplace. She is calling out where the noisy crowd gathers. Fools, how long will you love being ignorant? How long will you make fun of wisdom? How long will you hate knowledge? I wanted to tell you everything I knew and give you all my knowledge, but you didn't listen to my advice and teaching. I tried to help, but you refused to listen. I offered my hand, but you turned away from me. You ignored my advice and refused to be corrected. So I will laugh at your troubles and make fun of you when what you fear happens. Disasters will strike you like a storm. Problems will pound you like a strong wind. Trouble and misery will weigh you down. Fools will call for me, but I will not answer. They will look for me, but they will not find me. That is because they hated knowledge. They refused to fear and respect the Lord. They ignored my advice and refused to be corrected. They filled their lives with what they wanted. They went their own way so they would get what they deserve. Fools die because they refuse to follow wisdom. They are content to follow their foolish ways, and that will destroy them. but those who listen to me will live in safety and comfort. They will have nothing to fear.
In these verses, the Bible talks about wisdom as if it was a person. So we here at Youth Alive decided to locate wisdom and interview her. Here's a small clip of our chat. Hello, Wisdom. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm very good. Very glad to be here with you tonight. As you know, I really do enjoy being heard.
Yeah, absolutely. Since I just saw you a few minutes ago screaming to the public. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I'm glad you asked. So this is my problem, right? I look for people, but they reject me. I try to give them advice, and they ignore me. I want to share my wisdom, but they don't care. Do you know what that feels like? I'm sure you don't. Okay? I'm sure no one understands what it feels like. You know what? One day, I'm going to laugh. They're going to look for me. They're going to want advice. And at that point, they won't find me.
Sounds like I need to put a GPS on you. So, what can we do?
Well, to be quite honest with you, it's pretty simple. Just listen. That's all I want. I want them to listen to my advice. I want them to seek me. I want them to search for me.
So what you're saying is that we need to listen so that we can have a better life.
Exactly. That's the point. I want you to listen so that I can make you wiser in your youth and then wiser in your adulthood and so on and so forth. I want to share my heart to give everyone a better life.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Wisdom, for being here with us tonight. We really appreciate you, and we'll let you continue on your journey.
Hey! Hey!
Well, there you have it, folks. Wisdom is an important tool that we all need to have. Now, according to these verses, some people just don't like wisdom. They don't like to listen. They don't seek for it because they believe that they just don't need it at all. How foolish of them. Because the reality is that we all need wisdom. We all need to get wiser. Wisdom is what youth needs to be at peace. Now, according to these verses, if we continue to ignore wisdom, then a bad future, a dark future, awaits for us. A future full of disaster, full of trouble and uncertainty. So what do we do? What can we do? Well, for instance, we need to ask God for forgiveness. Why? Due to our arrogance. Because sometimes we feel like we know everything, but the reality is that we need to keep on learning. We need to start to listen. We need to start to learn God's teaching and live with them. So I advise you tonight to keep on seeking wisdom and choose to fear the Lord. That way you will show your friends and your family that you are young and alive.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That wraps up our time together today. We thank you so much for joining us. We encourage you to join us next Wednesday at 7 p.m. here through Periscope so we can continue to be uplifted. With that being said, stay safe, stay strong in your faith, and remember, we are Youth Alive.